going to welcome a special guest. We've been waiting for Chris to come on. Chris is going to come on and talk to us about ChatterQuant, guys. Again, you guys know how important social media is with this place, right? Over the weekend, we shared with you guys in Discord, right, about how CLOV was the talk of the town on Reddit, on Twitter, on all these platforms, right? Well, guess what CLOV is doing here today? CLOV has done nothing for the last 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden we start getting a lot of social media buzz. And guess what's happening? Well, CLOV is performing nicely here, right? Again, nothing happened with SPRT for a few sessions, for a few weeks, a month, and then we started getting a lot of social media buzz. Guess what happened? It exploded, right? Same thing with BBIG. So that's the intention here with ChatterQuant, right? So again, we're gonna welcome Chris, and Chris is gonna talk to us about Chris. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Hot Trades. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right. Super busy over here. A bunch of new stuff coming, and
Mhm.
a whole bunch of social media talk going on.
Okay. Well, it's glad to have you. Glad to have you. Yeah,
I
guys. Yeah.
thrilled to be here. Absolutely. So, do you want me to kind of start about how ChatterQuant came about, or what do we want
Yeah,
to talk about
absolutely.
today?
No, absolutely. Yeah, whatever
Perfect.
you want to talk about, just to make people understand like what it is, like how you guys came up with it, and just how it's beneficial to them, right?
Absolutely. So I'm sure everyone's familiar with what happened with the AMC and GameStop, right? This channel's all about AMC, or does a lot of it talk about AMC.
Hmm.
um, is these stocks ran thousands of percentiles solely based on social media discussion and sentiment. Fundamentals weren't at play. We were talking about short squeezes and high short interest accounts that were being kind of squeezed out by Wall Street, and retail kind of came in and said, let's take control of this, and they successfully did that. AMC and GameStop are not the only stocks that this happens to, as
Hmm.
Blaze kind of brought up here. I mean,
Hmm.
CLOV, SPRT happened a few weeks ago. BBIG was big on Twitter and ran hundreds of percent solely based on that. But there are several that happen every week on whether it be a small scale or large scale, 10% to 100% runners, solely based on social media discussion. We didn't believe that there was a very good answer or solution to figuring out how do I find out about these as it's happening or before it happens.
Hmm.
There's some people that monitor social sentiment and social media discussion, but I mean the very best of them, a lot of them are we're talking about 15-minute delays at the very best.
Hmm.
ChatterQuant, we built it and made it a lot harder to build, but with a focus on having 1 minute or less level data, right? So we have second level data coming in on social media posts like Twitter and Reddit,
Hmm. Hmm.
and we kind of use some we're implementing machine learning to kind of also look and be able to kind of identify pattern and slow me down. This is what I do all day. If you have
Hmm.
questions or if any of it doesn't make sense, right? Like I totally get not everybody's in the tech space, but we're applying a machine learning algorithms to identify pattern points that basically says this is what happened with GameStop, this is what happened with AMC, this is what happened with SPRT. Stock X has all of these traits and attributes.
Hmm.
So look at stock X, and that would allow us to identify these a lot earlier on. So even before it starts really spiking on social media.
Okay. Okay. That's very cool. Very cool. Huh. Yep. Yeah. So I'm gonna. You want me to pull up your website here so we can
Yeah,
just go through
absolutely. Yeah, we
the
can we
stuff?
can go through that.
Okay, sure. So I'm going to quickly pull this up here, and then we can just go through our ChatterQuant scores. So here we go. So I'm going to go over to the trend page here, and you can just talk us through like all the features and things like that, and then we can yeah,
Absolutely. Sounds
we can get
great.
back to work. You can get back to work in making this.
Perfect. No, absolutely. I mean, as you can see on the trends page, this one's Reddit.
Mhm.
You can see the bottom or the top right corner or top
Mhm.
left corner here, the
Yeah.
conversation volume in the past 12 hours. Sorry, I meant
Mhm.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
box right there.
Yeah.
You can kind of see these are the top 5 stocks being discussed on Reddit right now. CLOV being at the very top. You can see there was a huge spike in CLOV conversation volume. It's coming down to earth a little bit, but still
Mhm.
more than most of those stocks. And you can see ARKKLB is starting to kind of,
Mhm.
pick up a little bit and it is now above CLOV. And so that's the kind of the stuff we want to be able to see on a time series. See
Mhm.
how the discussion's changing. We
Mm-hmm.
also monitor upvote volume, which most of our competitors, actually, I don't think any of our competitors do. I don't think anybody else is monitoring the upvotes around stocks, right? So you have
Okay.
CLOV here that is just dwarfing everything else, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
can kind of see that in the price action that happened around CLOV today, is that it just
Mm-hmm.
absolutely, shot up 13%.
Mm-hmm.
Last I checked. Top right is our social stock of the day. This is basically saying what's hottest on Twitter and what's hottest on Reddit right now.
Yeah.
When you see something like Apple, we don't expect to see a
Mm-hmm.
20% move on a, trillion-dollar market cap stock.
Yeah.
Retail's gaining a lot of power, but doesn't have that kind of power.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if we scroll down and look at the trending tickers on Reddit in the past 24 hours, you
Mm-hmm.
can see there again, CLOV is absolutely dwarfing everything else. GameStop's number 2. RKLB seems like it's come up from where it was a few spaces back.
Mm-hmm.
That may be telling about what's gonna, that could continue to pick up steam. And if it's a small market cap stock, which we can
Yeah.
check by if we click on the market cap filter, um, right
Yeah.
there, perfect,
Mm-hmm.
and then click on small
Yeah.
and see if our KLB shows up on there. It's not, but this
Yeah.
shows the top 20 small market caps. If we click, maybe medium,
Okay.
cloves on there, we also don't see our KLB. So what that tells me is that this isn't a small cap stock. It could still make a run. Like Wish made some serious movement based on
Mm-hmm.
social sentiment, but these large caps just don't run the same way that the small caps do. And so it's definitely
Exactly.
a good idea to keep an eye on the small caps. If you
Mm-hmm.
click on the sector filter there,
Yep.
you can see we realize there are some people who only trade healthcare or
Mm-hmm.
tech or consumer cyclicals and all of that. So you're able to filter out Reddit based on what are the hottest in these sectors,
Mm-hmm.
if you prefer utilities or whatever you may prefer. And then
Yeah.
our time frame filter,
Mm-hmm.
you can obviously select, 6 or 1 hours. Like if we click the 6 hour chart right now, it
Yeah.
now filters like what's the hottest in the last 6 hours instead of the
Yeah.
last 24. So it's if you're trying to get into something a little more ahead of time and keep your eyes on that. If we
Okay.
scroll up, oh, do we want to talk about what the boxes mean there?
Sure. 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 Yeah.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So the green box right there, that's the positive discussion volume.
Mm-hmm.
The red box stands for kind of negative discussion volume, and the gray box stands for neutral.
Mm-hmm.
We've kind of come to realize that it's kind of that saying, not or any publicity is good publicity or no publicity is bad publicity.
Yeah.
You might see a stock with a lot of discussion volume, but as long as it's got the numbers, it'll still often make runs. But that
Mm-hmm.
is something to keep an eye on. If that green box starts shrinking a lot, it might be,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
time to look at something else.
Okay. Okay. Perfect.
So if we scroll up now,
Mm-hmm.
we can go to Twitter, and I'll run through this one a little more quickly.
Okay.
Twitter has all the same stuff. We're monitoring, filtering out tens of thousands of posts on
Yeah.
Twitter a day, and are looking at expanding that. But we definitely have what we consider like some of the most influential stock accounts
Mm-hmm.
powering that tool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all of that's the same, except for we also have weighted by follower count, right? So you can
Okay.
kind of see this. This is basically saying, what are the big dogs talking about? It's that box kind of to the right of that one.
To the right. To the right. To the right.
To the
Here we
right.
go. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Any
perfect.
questions? Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So the weighted by follower count, and that's going to be. I'm not sure how familiar a lot of you guys with the fintech scene or the FinTwit, what's they call it, FinTwit, financial Twitter scene, but
Yeah. Yeah.
that's going to have accounts like Zach Morris and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. A lot of people know who Zach Morris is, and
Yeah.
his posts are going to be weighted a little higher on that graph than maybe
Mm-hmm.
my personal account's post, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got
Yeah.
a lot more followers, and so when he tweets something, a lot more money's going to pour into that stock.
Mm-hmm.
All
Okay.
right, and then we'll go to our custom search tab. We'll scroll up.
There you go.
So our custom search tab, this is one of our favorites here. You can look this is all live. So what's a stock you're looking at right now? You can type that in the search bar there.
Yeah. Okay. What would you guys like to look at in the comments, guys? Yeah, it's very cool, honestly. All right. So again, what would you guys like to look at for custom search? The link is in the description. It's also on the screen right there, right? So just chatterquant.com/hot trades. That would
And if
be
you use Hot Trades' link, you'll save $20 a month. So
there you
that's
go.
the thing.
Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, there you go. So use hot trades as that, and then you get a discount. So someone said Safe Moon.
Safe
uh,
Moon. Let's do a stock first, and then we can look at
yeah,
some cryptos.
let's take a look at BBIG since it's
BBIG. All right,
yeah. So let's
perfect.
do BBIG here.
Oh, there we
Okay.
go.
Yeah, there you go.
So what that's going to do now is it's going to pop up, and the first thing you're going to see is the in that same box there's going to be a little description of the company and what they do, because half of the
Mhm.
time when I'm watching the Twitter thread or the Reddit thread, I have no idea what some of these tickers are. I mean, they're
Yeah,
really small caps, and those are really the ones that run.
yeah.
Then below that, today's discussion activity,
Hmm.
it's down 71% from the week, right?
Yeah,
And it's still up 4,400% in the last
yeah,
month.
yeah.
Um, so if we scroll down there, it's the latest news for BBIG. We have IEX as our news provider, and this is some Bloomberg level news, and that's real time here.
Okay.
You'll see stuff for uh, Tesla, right? And we'll be getting news articles from the American Rubber Manufacturers Association, right? So some really
Hmm.
obscure news sources. So you're really getting everything, and you can look at
Hmm.
all the news that's going on there.
Yeah.
Then you'll have latest Reddit posts, which are um, the Wall Street Bets, for instance, has the due diligence hashtags. So
Hmm.
this is the latest DD and due diligence from Reddit. So you can kind of
Okay.
scroll through there and look at what other people are saying and what kind of DD they're doing.
Okay.
Then there's the latest Reddit comments, latest Twitter posts,
Yeah.
and then if you up there we have the stock and options trading. It says that it's available. It tells you it's just the box right above it.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Talks about whether it has options, and within the next week we're going to be able to stick options flow for a specific stock in there, so you'll be able to see, are people buying tons of options, is it positive, is it negative, all of that, and you'll be able to kind of get a clearer picture about what's going on.
That's pretty exciting. Not gonna
Yeah, no,
lie.
we're excited about it. We
Yeah.
think it paints a really clear picture about what's going on, and eliminates some of the noise from sentiment for sure. If we
Okay.
scroll up some more,
Hmm.
we'll see. So that's kind of that's the social sentiment
Hmm.
box for BBIG. So
Yeah.
right now it's on a 1 month time frame. So each of those bars represents days, and you can see there was huge spike in discussion volume, and right below it,
Hmm.
stock price and trading volume. You can see that with the sentiment, there was a huge spike in the trade price or the stock price and the trading volume. If you
Hmm.
click that time frame filter, you can kind of break it down a little more, right? So if we click the
Yeah.
1 day, we're
Yeah.
able to see hourly what's happening on that stock. Is it going up or down, staying the same, all of that.
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions so far? I can answer some
Any
questions.
questions, guys? Clove is moving. Wow, guys. Clove broke about $10 at Chris. So people are pretty excited
Yeah, if you
about
want to
Clove.
hop over to that chart, I'm not into. I just got to hop off by 1 p.m. But
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
you can
sounds
go
good.
look at that.
Okay, sounds good. Sure. We can come back and let us know if you have any questions, guys. We can come back in like 5 minutes here or so. So Clove is finally breaking above $10 right again. I know we've talked about $10. Again, if for nothing else, just for psychological reasons, right? So again, Clove looks very good there. So I'm gonna see if there are any questions here for uh I love the idea of letting social media letting they stay out of the okay, there you go, Johnny. All right, so again, the link, Adam, the link is on the screen here, but again, if you just it's chatterquant.com/hot trades, it's also in the description there. It's the link is in the description. So Chrissy says, Chris, this is amazing, thank you.
Awesome, appreciate that.
uh let's see here again. I'm gonna have to clip this video, Chris. I know we're not done yet, but I'm gonna have to find a way to clip the video, and just so people keep, again, so we don't keep getting the same questions over and over.
No,
It's
understood. Absolutely.
yeah, no, this is very good,
Um,
very good.
I saw someone ask about a free trial. We don't have a free trial, but we do want to provide this, and the reason we don't have that is because our data does have costs. We have contracts with Twitter and Reddit, and they basically said, we have to pay for that. We do have a freemium option, so we do try and have some of it. So our alerts section, which we'll go over in a minute, you're
Mhm.
allowed to subscribe to one alert for free with a free account, and you can also add it some of the Reddit or monitor some of the Reddit data for free, as well as our symbol lookup, which is our fundamentals page, and we have over $3,000 worth of like bullish bears, which is one of these education providers that we offer for free to anyone with an account as well to help learn the stock market.
Okay. There you go. That's cool. Yeah. There you go. So Tom says very valuable. There you go. Stacy says, this is super. This is super. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, let's go back again. Let's just go back to the to CharterQuant here, guys. And Chris can continue.
Perfect. So I guess the next thing we'll want to click on is our charts tool, which might not be as impressive for some of you Reddit people or people who aren't
Mhm.
monitoring Twitter. But essentially what you're able to do is plot tweets from some of these really influential stock movers on a price. So some of the really are on a chart. So
Mhm.
for right now, we'll keep it simple and we'll click select all. If you scroll down to like the primary search box and you click select all, just the
Okay,
little
right here.
button right there, perfect.
Yeah.
So those are all tweets that are being in discussion volume on Twitter in the last month or few days and all of that. So this is a GameStop chart.
Mhm.
This is really helpful to some people who are looking at some of the small caps that are moving. This is getting a complete rework, and what we're going to be having is it's going to be torn down. We're still going to have a trading view chart, but
Mhm.
what you're going to be able to post on there is it's not going to be gurus anymore. It's going to have stuff like options alerts, right? High, like bullish or bearish, should be red or green, and it'll be plotted not as a dot, but as a little, symbol, an icon. And
Mhm.
the other things that it'll have are institutional buys and sells. I mean, when institutions are selling off, that's usually a sign, right? So we'll have a little
Mhm.
red office building thing on there that says institutions sold here or bought
Mhm.
here. It's the same
Okay.
thing with insiders. When the insiders are selling off or buying in a lot, that's usually a telling sign that they think
Yeah.
our stock price is too high or this is about to go to the moon, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, we're going to have congressman buys and sells on there. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar. Nancy Pelosi's been
Yeah.
absolutely killing it this year, right? If you followed her, you would have had an awesome year.
Yeah.
So Congress buys and sells on there, and some
Mhm.
other fundamental cool data that we think is really helpful, like earnings and predicted EPS, and when did
Mhm.
analysts change their price targets and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. So I think there's a question here from Bulldog. Let me see if I can quickly. So Bulldog says, "Why don't you use this data for becoming your sales by trading?" Yeah.
Oh, no. That's a fair question. So, Bulldog, that's a part of why we're implementing our machine learning phase here, or for machine learning algorithm to kind of identify pattern points, is we've noticed there definitely are patterns. And sometimes, yeah, absolutely. When something skyrockets, that's when the chatter starts. But there are tons of examples where that isn't the case, right? CEI, if you look at what happened to that last week,
Mhm.
that did not start. I mean, it was at 60 cents and now it's at trading at $1 today. And that was on
Mhm.
Friday. So it's been 2 days.
Mhm.
Um, chatter is what caused that. The chatter absolutely started the price movement.
Mhm.
And I do trade off of this. I trade exclusively sentiment. I play both ends of this. I know a lot of people here are perma bulls, but I like to play both sides, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And there's definitely instances where a stock runs significantly based on social sentiment and chatter, and
Mhm.
shorting it or buying puts
Mhm.
is the logical next step, right? Because it's
Yeah.
one of the reasons we have our news there is what I like to do is I look and I see, all right, CEI just ran 200%.
Yeah.
And you go and look at the news, and sometimes the company will even come out and say, we have no idea why our stock ran 200%.
Mhm.
Right. And that's usually
Yeah.
pretty good. And you'll look at the news and there's no news catalyst. And so
Mhm.
you go,
Yeah.
yeah, that's not very logical. Let's enter a short or let's buy a put here. And
Mhm.
you can make some pretty good money doing that.
Okay. There you go. There you go. Bulldog says, "Thank you for answering my question. Good to hear that you're a trader as well." Perfect.
Absolutely.
Mhm. Alrighty. And then yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah, I think that's what I have for charts right now, and
Okay.
so we can
Perfect.
hop
Yeah.
back to
Yeah. You wanna? What have I done? What have I done?
you can all good. You can just go back to chatterquant.com.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you click back to ChatterQuant in the top right
Yeah.
corner, because
Yeah.
this is our old, yep,
There you go.
perfect. So let's go to our alert center, and this one's a lot of fun
Yeah,
and all of
I
that.
know.
So um, what we have is we have several different types of alerts. We have our Reddit top trending, which kind of notifies you of when something becomes number one. Twitter top trending is the same thing.
Mhm,
Unusual discussion volume alerts. That goes and looks back and tells you if conversation volume within the last hour has doubled on something. And
mhm,
this one does have machine learning aspect to it. It's going to be
mhm,
self-optimizing, which means that over time it's going to become more accurate and be able to tell based on price action whether the alert is relevant or not.
mhm,
If we scroll down, so where we
mhm.
kind of start getting into some of our other alerts, we have our momentum alert, which
Yeah.
combines fundamental data with social sentiment. So it's basically
Mhm.
saying, is this stock trending? And if there's a huge spike in volume, then it alerts you. That's coming out within the next couple of weeks. Same
Okay.
with the short squeeze alert, which
Mhm.
combines that with short interest, because we know a
Yeah.
lot of people are looking for these gap ups on short squeezes, right? Who isn't?
Yeah.
And that's what this alert coming out in the next couple of weeks is going to be about.
Okay.
Our rocket catcher, same thing. It talks about price spikes as opposed to volume spikes. So
Mhm,
that's for a different kind of people.
mhm.
Um, Pelosi trade tracker, that's a fun one we put together just because that's something I wanted. I want to know what she's trading because she
Yeah.
seems to always be killing it, right? So
Yeah.
I'm like, I
Yeah.
want to get a notification whenever it goes public that she's traded something.
Okay.
Um, our stop talk kind of tells you, all right, sentiment is dying and discussion volume on this stock is dying. Maybe if you're playing it as a momentum play, that now might be the time to get out here.
Mhm,
Smart money notifies you of large block trades on a ticker that's really hot. So if that basically is telling you are institutions buying into this as well as retail.
mhm. Okay.
Sweep alert, that's option sweeps. So that basically means that somebody bought all of the calls out for a specific price. And that's usually telling that huge institutions or large money is playing options on this ticker.
Mhm,
News runner alerts people if there's a news article that caused a spike in the trading volume.
mhm.
Olympic metal basically tells you is the stock trending both on Twitter and on Reddit.
Okay.
Our tsunami, there's another one coming, Tidal and Ripple. Those are all options which are coming out this week. So tsunami
Okay.
is really large options plays, right? Is there a lot of money pouring into one strike price
Mhm,
on an option? And that's really important to know. I mean, options have been absolutely huge indicators of what's going to happen in the market lately. So
yeah. Yeah.
we'll go next to our after hours and futures page. Our fundamentals is getting kind of a rework that's coming out in the next couple of
Okay.
weeks as well.
Okay.
And this is for anybody who's not familiar with futures. Futures are kind of what people look at to see what's going to happen tomorrow,
Yep.
right? If the S&P 500 futures are up 5%, which is kind of where they max out, then
Mhm.
tomorrow's going to be an absolutely, I mean, more likely than not, it's going to be a killer day.
Yep.
On the right, we have our economic calendar, which
That's
you
actually
can
very
look
good.
at.
Honestly, not gonna lie, Chris, that's very good because I'm always looking for this stuff, and it's
Right, I know it's so hard, and we have an earnings tab coming too, which is, what I do for earnings, and I consider myself pretty sophisticated traders. I literally go to Twitter, go to the earnings whisper account, and see what's coming. Right? I mean, that is
Mhm.
not the most efficient way to do this,
Yep.
and so
No.
we're we're having our earnings tab, which is going to have every single earnings for a day of the week. It's going to be a little calendar on there. So Monday,
Mhm.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
Have what stocks are having earnings. Underneath it's going to say what is the predicted earnings per share, what was their last one, all of the
Mhm.
stuff you might want to know to see if you want to maybe do a, I don't know, whether it be an informed trade or a little earnings YOLO on calls or something like that. It's
Okay.
going to be helpful for either
Great.
one. Our
Yeah.
economic calendar, that's telling you, the stuff that comes out that affects the market. COVID cases, COVID deaths, Fed talks, unemployment numbers, all that stuff you see people talking about, and you're like, how the heck did they know that this was happening?
Mhm.
Is through calendars like this.
Mhm.
So if we scroll down past the calendar, so
Okay.
you're gonna want to, yeah, perfect. There we go. We have our crypto, which is just a live kind of. We have full crypto integration coming, which is essentially going to be separate chatter monitors on crypto for all the crypto freaks in here who love crypto, me being one of those.
Yes.
So yeah, these are just sorted by market cap, and you can kind of see another interesting thing. We were picking up Solana on Twitter back when it was $60, and it's now
Mhm.
trading at 190
Yeah.
on our trendings tab, right? So
Oh,
yeah, then we have our education, which we can kind of go through just kind of really quickly, and then
okay, sounds good.
that's all
Yeah.
I have, and I can answer some questions.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah, we just have all kinds of courses there that you can go through,
Mhm.
and it's $3,500 from one of our partners, Bullish Bears, and we've advanced options course, and like I said, I consider myself a pretty sophisticated trader, and I learned some stuff going through these. So there's
Mhm.
something for everyone on here.
Okay, there you go. Those are actually very cool, honestly, because if you look at the titles here, I like some of the titles here, right? Stuff like basic option courses, right? Swing trading. I've been getting a lot of questions here today, like where should I buy this to swing it overnight, right? So I like some of these titles here. Some candlestick patterns here. People always ask, like, how do I learn how to chart? So stuff like this is actually very cool. I like that.
Right. And if you click on one of the courses, the little drop downs on them, whatever
Yeah.
there, you
Yeah.
can choose what you want, right? It's broken down
Okay.
into smaller subsections. So you can kind of decide, I already know about this. I only want to learn or watch about this.
Okay. Okay. Wow. That's very cool. So I'm gonna leave it on the trends page here. Then we can get some questions if there are any questions. So I think so. Adam said I did, but I tried to upgrade to Pro, and he said $30. Thought the discount was 15.
So yeah, no, our original price is $50. So you would be
Mhm.
saving $20 a month um, by signing up for Pro and getting it for $30 for the lifetime of the account. And we do expect our prices to get out of that $30 range and go up to 50. And the people who are signing up now, we're going to grandfather them in because we realize
Okay.
that we're early on and we appreciate all that.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, guys, let us know if you have any questions here for Chris. But that's amazing.
Perfect. Looks like people
Honestly,
want you to hop back to CLOV, so I can
I know
I
they
can
do.
I can let you do that. If there's
No,
no
Chris. Honestly,
questions.
thank you very much for coming on.
Absolutely. Thanks for
And
having me on. Really appreciate it.
last question for you would be like, how do I track I know this is unrelated, but like, how do I track like the signups and things like that? I guess just manual for now. Like,
Yeah, no, no, absolutely. So I'll send you just kind of we'll have to do a database query. We're building out a backend so you can look at it on a dashboard, but right now it's
okay, perfect.
it's through a database query.
Okay, perfect. No, that's amazing.
Perfect.
Honestly, Chris, thank you very much again, guys. The
Absolutely.
link is in the description to sign up for ChatterQuant. Again, when you sign up with the hot trades, the link, you get a discount, right? So that's amazing. Thank Chris. Thank you again. Thank you. Have a
Perfect. Have a good one.
thank you. Okay,
Bye.
bye. There you go, guys. There you go. There you go. And any plans for an app? There you go, guys. Oh yeah, Dustin. I guess I can DM in and ask for plans for the app. I guess Clove guys is looking very good. Look at that, guys. 1022, 15% higher here today. We'll love for this thing to close above. Need to turn on some stuff here, guys. Would love